On today's episode of The Greenprint, we're joined by Sohan Bashar, owner of Silkroad NYC, one of the first card licensed dispensaries in Queens, New York. Born in Bangladesh and raised in Jamaica, Queens, Sohan embodies both the immigrant hustle and the New York grind. From his early experiences in the legacy cannabis market to navigating property management and cryptocurrency investing, his journey has been anything but linear. What makes his story especially powerful is how he transitioned from the underground to the legal industry, turning past challenges into the foundation for a licensed dispensary that's built for longevity. Now leading Silk Road NYC, Sohan is helping shape for the future of retail in New York while representing Queens' entrepreneurial spirit. In this conversation, we'll explore his path from legacy to legal, how he balances multiple ventures, and what it means to create a community-rooted cannabis brand in one of the most diverse boroughs in the world. Let's get into it. For the Greenprint series, right? So we're just basically meeting like entrepreneurs that are like already crushing it in the cannabis industry. And we want to hear your story and how it can just maybe help people that are on the come up as well. So with some of the other stuff that you mentioned, because I'm down to talk about that for sure. We have like 18 questions, but they're not like too deep. Once you answer them, we can just move on. We can get into that like whenever you want to like pull up like what's kind of happening in the current event, September 11. Like I'm down to go to that route too for sure.
Yeah, it might be better we just get it off in the beginning, and then whenever later we'll get like more detail or not. Let me just put this.
Bitcoin plushie.
Oh, they can see that.
Yes, sir. And was that Dr. Doom on the back on the screen? Yeah,
So yeah, I'll put it like this.
that's dope. Oh, it's gonna come out. That's tight. That's nice. There's a whole duffel bag.
But yeah, I think yeah, we just put. When did we last speak, man? We spoke like
Mm,
you gave me a nice meeting, insightful meeting with the SEO and the
oh
keywords
yeah,
and
yeah. That was a while back. I think near the beginning of the year.
yeah, man, we were like, just kind of wondering what our next steps are gonna be and what we're doing that we could do better. Things like that. So that was like really, really wonderful, insightful.
Yeah, glad we
Um,
could help.
and then we ended up like we were at the time paying for two services
Okay.
that were doing in charge of our SEO and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, and then we ended up just it was like a redundancy, and so I
Okay.
don't want to mention any names really,
Yep.
but I will mention that I work with Shane of Stupid Dope.
Yeah.
He's been rocking with us. He's been writing us articles.
Getting you guys
That
backlinks.
really, really does help.
Hmm.
And especially with the keywords and all that stuff that you provided us,
Yep.
that gave us a nice little edge on just getting out articles, putting it on our website, blogging it out.
Yep.
Um, and then we ended up just cutting the redundancy and the double work and stuff like that to save ourselves some money.
Yep.
This was another agency that they said that they scale dispensaries, took a lot of credit for things that we were fully cultivating, like not growing weed wise, but I meant
Yeah.
like events, cultivating nice events, video game stuff,
Okay.
things like that. Um, that they had literally nothing to do with, put their logo on it. All of a sudden, they're like taking credit for these things. So then they said they're in charge of scaling my dispensary. When
Wow.
I first engaged with them,
Hmm.
I'm like, dude, we're in the threes. We're trying to, monthly. We're
Yep.
in the 300Ks. We're trying to be at the 350s and then the 400s and the 450s.
Hmm.
Is this possible? Can you scale us to that? Because I'm
Yeah.
going to review the services within 6 months. If this doesn't work out, then we're not continuing.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
fair.
everything's good. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna rock it out. You'll try weed maps. You'll try Leafly. Try
Hmm.
this. Try that. It was always try this. Try that. It wasn't like giving me the this is gonna work. Do
Yeah.
this and then do that. And these are supposed to be people who scale dispensaries and have done the work, been in multiple states, worked with weed maps.
Yep.
They should know what's up. So I just felt like I was getting the ringer, And
Mm.
in that 6 months where they were saying, as their advertisement says, as they even put that out on other magazine and
Yep.
all that, saying, hey, we scale these dispensaries,
Hmm.
I was in the same range
Right, right.
for 6 months.
Okay.
Wasn't scaling me. I know they got many other clients that they were scaling, but they weren't scaling me.
Oh,
um, I don't know if it has to do with me being Muslim or me being, Silkroad with the camel, and they have, like,
yeah.
a personal vendetta against this camel, that they want to cleanse the land of the camel riders and all these things that are um in this cannabis industry, unfortunately,
Yep.
shouldn't be. Because this is an inclusive community.
Yeah.
And I come from this. I've been selling weed for 23 years, damn near 24 years. I'm about to be
Damn.
35 in November. Um, this location I'm at is 16630 Jamaica Avenue.
Hmm.
I grew up, like, literally, this intersection is 168.
Yeah.
I grew up on 172 and Jamaica,
Wow.
literally
Right down the
four
block.
blocks away. You know what I mean? Like, I'm from this hood. This is a community
Yeah, yeah.
disproportionately impacted by the war on drugs heavy.
Wow.
I was getting searched and patted down at 12 years old.
Dang, 12?
Getting description
Yep.
of a guy wearing a scully, allegedly had a gun. I have a newspaper in my hand. Where's the gun? Where's the gun?
Legit.
These kind of things will make you,
Hmm.
very distrusting of the police. Very, and this is, remember, I don't know if I said, I was born in 1990. So at 11, 12 years old, guess what time that lines up to?
Yeah. September 11th.
2001.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not in which happens to be today.
Exactly.
So this is very, like, near and dear to me, if you want to say it like that. This was something that, like, turned my life, like, damn near, upside down, because 10, 11 years old in sixth grade.
Yep.
I went to PS 131, also on 168th Street, a couple blocks up this road.
Yep.
So, people kept, like, parents kept coming to school, taking their kids home.
Hmm.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? How did they, in the same day or the next day, have a bearded Muslim man to blame for all of these things?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, it's the war on terror,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
That we're fighting this war on terror, just like, let's just run it back, just like the war on drugs,
Yeah.
right? Look what happened now, right? Who won? Drugs won.
Exactly.
Like, not even drugs won, but us. The people who are on this side, right? Because it's clearly two sides. You have one that they're against us drug dealing,
Mhm.
right? They're setting up laws and legislation and police to catch us,
Right.
right? If we fortify our houses against these things, they could take the house.
Yeah.
So all of this is like, running through my head as I'm, making millions of dollars on the black market.
Hmm.
Like, maybe like 2017, 2018. That time I was just like, we'll cut to, I know you have chronological questions.
Yeah,
we'll,
that's cool. That's a good
we'll
part of the
we'll
story.
cut it to there. But, like,
Yeah.
basically, I was going back and forth to Cali.
Mhm.
A California DA. I was shipping out money at the time. I shipped out like 360,000.
Dang.
A California DA
Mhm.
caught the money in the package.
Oh.
Said that the dog alerted to drugs being present in the package. There was obviously no drugs present in the package.
Yeah.
It was all money.
Then what?
And so this DA sent me pictures of all my houses.
Okay.
Like, hey, we know what you do. We know you live here, here, and here. It's in your best interest to not fight this and let us keep the money.
What?
So I have businesses and all that, and this is prior to New York legalization.
Yep.
And so, I fought it, and, put my dad on there, that he's, 20 years driving cabs, and I do all these cash businesses.
Mhm.
This is my money legit. At the time, California had a big vapor business going on.
Okay.
So I basically made the case that, hey, this is what I'm here to do. Give me my money back, and I got a big chunk of the money back. And then
Nice.
my attorney, obviously at the time, you got to keep a third of the money.
Right.
So out of the 360K, I believe I was allocated a good almost 200K
Okay.
back.
Better than
So
nothing.
that's a loss of a quick 160K right there, right?
Yeah, you feel that for
And
sure.
then and then the attorney keeps another roughly a third of that, so she kept about
Oh,
65
dang.
of the
Okay.
200. So I went but at the end I went home with 140.
Yeah, that's
So
still something. Yeah.
got robbed for 200K by the
Jeez.
California DA.
Wow.
Sent me letters back and forth that, hey, yo, so now that this proceeding is over, sign this so you don't sue me ever again, and I don't sue you ever. Like, so
Yeah.
we're good now. Like, you fucking bitch. But anyway, I got the dog fired too. The dog is out of commission because, like, what drugs did you find?
Yeah,
You
exactly. He's the one that screwed everything up.
So these kind of things, but like, you could tell, like, there's a certain level of rebelliousness and a level of understanding that, hey, what I'm doing, whether your laws say this is illegal or not, I
Hmm.
know what I'm doing is right, and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I don't really care what your constructs are, this and that. Like, I abide by my own laws and rules that I know is valid. Just
Right,
like I
right.
was 12 years old, getting searched, smoking weed every day. And at the time, I knew that weed was good. Like, I never once, like, hey, yo, weed is bad, don't sell it. This is a gateway drug. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I just, my grandfather sold cigarettes for 50 years
Right.
with a company called 555 in Bangladesh. So he was like the head of sales.
Okay, wow.
So I spoke to him before I got into actually selling weed. That, hey, is this haram?
Yeah.
I'm doing for these reasons. You did this to feed your family for 50 years. You have 6 children. My
Yeah.
mom being the eldest of his children. And she's in. We came to the U.S. in 1996,
Hmm.
and when I was 5, didn't even turn 6 yet.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, I moved the first house I moved to on 168, right on same block
For
on
real.
on the
That was
on the
meant to be.
on the mosque block.
Okay.
It's called Jamaica Muslim Center.
Hmm.
Right now, it's 2 properties big. They knocked everything down and made it a huge mosque.
Wow.
At the time when I was there, that mosque was just a garage. So
Really?
we were going there praying out the garage.
Hmm.
Down the block on the corner was Jamaica High School.
Hmm.
So, and then 1 block away is Edison High School, and a couple blocks is the nearest park.
Hmm.
So this was my stomping grounds where I grew up. Came outside, seen a thousand gangster ants riding bicycles and coming out after school.
Hmm.
It was absolutely crazy, and quickly you realize how you're in the new world. This is supposed to be the melting pot, but quickly you realize how racist it is, how
Yeah.
discriminatory it is, how the color of your skin affects everything that
Yep.
you're doing. um and I was told the worst things. And if fast forward to 9/11, and
Hmm.
this is already racist, right? They
Yep.
just don't have the articulating thing to, hey, you're a terrorist, or you're this, you're that. Now you give them 9/11, and all of a sudden all these
It's
names are
all
coming out.
justified in their
I'll
eyes.
go to Juma Friday prayer wearing
Right.
a Muslim outfit, and I'm coming home crossing the street. Somebody damn near runs me and my brother over.
Wow.
My brother's 2 years older than me, so I'm 11 and he's 13,
Hmm.
and they damn
Bunch of
near run
kids.
us over.
Yeah.
Open the window and say, "Move it, Bin Laden."
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And
That's
this is
wild.
the war on terror that was started after the war on drugs was already on and
Yeah.
crazy and
And they
so
made things
serious
worse.
about this shit. And look
Hmm.
and look at this now, right? Look at this now. 2022. Oh, we're proud to announce that the war on drugs is over. Who won? Drugs.
Yeah.
But really, it was us, and through the MRTA, that they gave us the first opportunity to make money
Yep.
off of our misfortune. So I
Yeah.
was
That was
caught,
fair.
with pounds of weed, pounds of hash in a off-campus dorm room.
Hmm.
That was my now wife, then girlfriend's off-campus dorm rooms, also 168th Street,
Yeah.
St. John's University.
Hmm.
So this is the Silk Road, really. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's all web together. Um,
Legit.
but yeah, so basically, like I had all these drugs in there.
Yeah.
The weed was out, and I had a bunch of like hard drugs in the safe.
Hmm.
As a big ass safe, like pretty much like 4 feet high.
Whoa.
And so in the safe, I had, I would say, 168 grams
Okay.
of white flaky powder.
Right. Right.
If you know what that is.
Yeah.
And so, and I had some brown powder. I had some, like, a bunch of pills, blue pills, white pills.
Yep.
Like, this is college. I'm doing big business. The more SKUs you have, the more money you make.
100%.
At the time, it wasn't an ethical conversation around about, hey, what you're doing to these people, what you're messing up people's lives, you're feeding people out, you're
Yeah.
setting people up for future failure.
Hmm.
I didn't care at the time.
Yep.
But I was making money. I didn't care. Like, I was making damn near 50,000 a month, 80,000 a month.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this is 2014, and the cops come in,
Hmm.
smell the weed, see the weed,
Yeah.
and I wasn't even in the house. They arrest my girlfriend
Damn.
just for the weed,
Yeah.
and
No connection. Mhm.
take everybody in the off-campus dorm house,
Mhm.
right? And these are civilians. You can't blame them for this. Is not like the cannabis industry now. Of, oh, these guys are big brands, and now they're caught
Yeah.
cooperating, like this and that. This is just college kids. You can't blame them. They don't know about this. So
Yeah.
they all said it was me.
Oh,
You
geez.
know,
Okay.
the cops then they took all of us and let all of the cooperating people go. The only people they kept was me and my girlfriend.
Wow.
So she wasn't saying nothing. That was her room.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not saying nothing. That's all my shit.
Hmm.
So and it was the 107th precinct that took us.
Hmm.
I ended up having some money in my pocket. I give one of the cops a $20 bill, like, yo, please go buy my girl some French fries,
Yeah.
and give it to her. Right. So
Mhm.
as she's eating these fries
Yeah.
that I got her,
Mhm.
one of the officers walks in, like, yo, you should just tell us where his gun is, tell us where his money is, and the rest of his shit,
Mhm.
because he just told on you. He said it was all yours. As she's
Wow.
eating the fries, she's like, hell no, I know he never told on me. I'm
That's
not saying
dope. Yeah. Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
At the same time, they did the same thing to me.
Mhm.
That they're like, this part was true. That, hey, everybody told on you.
Yeah.
They're being released. And then they're like, including your girlfriend. She told on you. I
Yeah. They
was like,
tried to turn
hell
you
no.
guys against each
I'm
other.
like, did you guys get her the French fries? And like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. So I know she didn't tell on me, bro. Don't be telling me all that shit. I laughed at them, and the detective there was a short, nerdy detective,
Yep.
spiky hair, like orange hair and shit, spiky.
Okay.
Whatever. He's like trying to get shit out of me. Like, hey man, this could be very easy. Just open your phone
Yeah.
and tell me where you got these things from. I was like, dude, I don't know what things you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, because you're not supposed to say any of that
Yeah.
shit. So then because I'm laughing. Remember, I said it was 168 grams.
Mhm.
They slayed me and wrote it off as a typographical error. Everywhere
Whoa.
that there was grams,
Yeah.
they charged me for ounces.
Oh, dang. It's a whole other
So,
level.
overnight, 168 grams that they open a safe in the precinct and weigh it out
Yeah.
and determine that it's this weight. They aggravated it to 168 ounces, which is equivalent to 4.5 bricks.
Jeez.
So overnight, as we're going through central bookings, then I'm seeing my girl in cells across of me and this and that,
Mhm.
and I'm like, don't worry, babe, I've been through this shit. Like, she's never been arrested before,
Yep.
right? And I'm like, babe, I've been through this shit. We're gonna get bail. It'll probably be like 2-3 grand. I'm gonna get you out. It's only 100 something grams of coke.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be out, right?
Yeah.
not knowing that we're about to go be charged for 4.5 weeks at
Yeah,
arraignment.
that's crazy.
And she's wearing a shirt of mine that says certified moneymaker. You know? So, and I'm there looking fucked up, like, like this was like it was bad, man. So the arraignment comes,
Yeah.
and the judge is like, "Hey, these are the charges. What do you guys plead?
Mhm.
Not guilty, obviously, right?" The attorney starts arguing with the judge that, "Hey, you reduced the last defendant's bail.
Mhm.
Would you mind reducing this bail?" You know how you just see that he had a wrong approach with the judge. Like, the judge is like, "Don't tell me what to do with my bail."
Yeah.
Banks on us 300K bail each.
300K.
Yeah, me and her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they charged us as drug dealing kingpins. Did not
Damn.
want to hear that this was a typographical error by the cops, which worked out in our favor at the end, because then it just totally kills their credibility.
Yeah.
That, hey, where's all these drugs that you charged them with?
Yeah.
Where's,
That's
like,
night and day
you
difference.
know, if you multiplied everything by a factor of, from grams to ounces, you multiplied everything by a factor of 28.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. That's insane and jump.
Slayed me, man. So so we went back and forth to court,
Hmm.
and I waited until they dropped her from the case.
Okay.
And once they dropped her from the case, then they started offering me, like, "Hey, man, you did this shit. Yo, we want you for 4 years
Hmm.
upstate." And I
Jeez.
was like, "Fuck no, I'm not made for that."
Yeah.
So,
Like, who
so
wants to
then
do
they
that for real?
forth,
Hmm.
offer me 2 years. I go back to school, and my lawyer, rest in peace, Diron Castro,
Okay.
uh, one of the greatest lawyers ever, came through from my coke dealer, actually.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He actually came to this dispensary like 2 months ago and came here
Word.
and chilled with me. Like, I could have an interview with him too. Like, every plug I ever met, I made him cash. There's not a plug that's gonna say I owe them money or I did them dirty or none of that. Like, my name is good, East Coast, West Coast, all that.
Let's get it.
So that's how we try to keep it. The halal way.
Yes, sir.
So and by the way, I don't sell coke no more. Ever since I went to jail for that
Yep.
in 2015, I was sentenced.
Yep.
So for that charge, so they ended up giving me, once we met the bureau chief with my attorney,
Hmm.
um, it just showed them, like, it went down to 1 year finally,
Okay.
and I was still upstate. And then we showed them my grades. I got all A's that semester.
Nice.
And just like, hey, this kid is obviously not built for this. He's an entrepreneur. He pays taxes. He does all these things. He's not,
Yeah.
any of this lifestyle. He's not going to sell drugs anymore. He just wants to, just do well in school and progress. And you would be essentially messing up his life. Look at the potential that he has,
Exactly.
getting straight A's in school.
Hmm.
It would be very beneficial for him to, if you could give him something better than this.
Yeah.
So then the bureau chief thinks about it, and he's like, "All right, man, I'm gonna make it 1 year city. That's the best you're gonna get.
Okay.
Go outside, talk to your parents, talk to your attorney, and make that decision." My attorney goes outside, doesn't even look at me,
Mhm.
looks at my dad like, "You guys got to take this. You guys got to take this.
Wow. Like
The
that.
amount of coke you had, you better take this."
Mhm.
So we took it, and that worked out to exactly 8 months on Rikers Island, with the time that I had done already in before I got bailed out and things like that were calculated.
Mhm.
And in there, that's when I decided that I was never gonna sell drugs again. When I had the time to think, and I wasn't on drugs,
Yeah.
and just a long time, like, I went to Muslim services.
Mhm.
They shout out to Muslim service. They would always hook me up, and they knew I smoked weed,
Yeah.
and they would just, like, give me little pieces of weed or whatever they could give me. They would always give me, keep me happy and shit like that, because it's a
Yeah.
bad
That's
place.
clutch.
It's crazy,
100%.
So and that's when I made the decision that, hey, like coke and heroin and these things that I was selling to make money
Mhm.
was really, really messing up my life and the people that I was serving, right?
Yeah.
And so then I basically made a promise to myself that I'm gonna come home
Yeah.
and I'm only going to sell weed and
Okay.
affect people in a positive way, and be very wary of vibration and frequency and things that don't align
Yeah.
with what I'm trying to do, and that's even carried, that same philosophy is carried here to this day, that certain brands that I don't carry, and they know why. Because
Yeah.
very very simple explanation is that, yo, your frequency doesn't align with mine, and everything that I carry and touch is like in vibrational tune with me and what I'm doing, and the people feel it, and the people, when they consume it.
Yeah. That stuff's real.
70% water,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Water has
these
memory.
experiments with the I forgot his name now, but a famous scientist
Okay.
who took the frequencies inside of water
There's a
and
Dr.
saw,
Emoto.
yes, there you go, saw the harmonious geometric
Yeah.
shapes were forming when you had positive frequencies and
Mm-hmm.
vibrations. When
Yep.
you had negative frequencies and vibrations, these were destructive, misaligned shapes that
Yeah.
were that were forming.
Mm-hmm.
So why would we want that inside of our bodies and amongst ourselves and thought
Facts.
patterns and all that?
Yep.
So that explains directly why, like, if brands are wondering why I don't carry them, there's your explanation right there. You don't align with my vibration. I'm not gonna say,
Yeah.
oh, you a snitch, you a this, you a that, or or you
Mm-hmm.
had the pesticides in your weed, or you ran hydrogen whatever peroxide over your plants and thought you're gonna remediate it and sell it to us again. I
Mm-hmm.
don't I don't need to give them that explanation. It's just, yo, you don't
Not for
align with
us.
mine. you
Yeah.
know
Mm-hmm.
so, and that for the people, I feel like that's a very very big step that I'm taking for the people, because, like, I don't just take everybody's package.
Yeah.
These are lessons that you learn, from my 23 years of selling weed.
Yeah.
Is that,
Yeah.
don't take everybody's package. You don't know what's up with that, and it's not the best thing to do.
Yeah.
And
Right.
make sure you only take what you could, take what you can handle,
Mm-hmm.
take what you can move, take what vibration aligns with you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I how I move, and the people here enjoy it and feel it. It
Yeah.
positively reverberates. I didn't want to use that word because Netanyahu uses that. Oh, yo, if you take out Saddam, I promise it'll positively, reverberations in the nation. But just last
Yeah.
week, this guy bombed 6 other nations around here.
Yeah.
This
In
guy
like 72
talking about
hours.
we are peacemakers. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where it's not, and the Quran even says, beware of these guys who come and say that they're
We're
peacemakers.
peacemakers. Yep.
The opposite. And this is where cannabis industry might be quite against this, because, all right, yo, we're blessed with this license and this
Mm-hmm.
responsibility of the people. I'm taking that to the next level. Like, hey, isn't it my responsibility to let my people know, am I, like, that what's going on in this world and what we're facing, and even like down to bitcoins right here,
Mm-hmm.
and Dr. Doom and Silkroad just telling people that, hey, man, like, there's watch out, there's imminent doom, like, you guys gotta watch out, and look, this is a monetary system that
Mm-hmm.
could save you guys. You know what I'm saying? That, I'm just subtly pointing to, nothing crazy. Like, just that, because, like, and we took bitcoins last year, we announced it.
Right.
Why? I even
I saw
asked
that.
in our academy in front of like 300 other licensees before
Uh-huh.
we even opened, that, hey, what happens if this monetary system goes down? What are we gonna do? We're expected to hold taxes for a whole year.
Yeah.
What do like, I could flip that. I could have put last year's money into Bitcoin and came out 3-4x, and then paid them their thing plus interest, and been
Been
a
up.
couple million up.
Exactly.
So this is where it gets very tricky, and they don't want the everyday people to even know about these things, right? Russia has
Mm-hmm.
just accused the US of, hey, you're trying to use crypto to
Wow.
flush your 35 trillion in debt and get out of this debt and reset the system again.
Yeah. That's what they're trying.
So this is where you got Silk Road here, Bitcoin here, like literally alluding to all these things without saying it. I have a back wall that's mural, really, MF Doom and Dr. Doom holding the Silk Road orb just like this,
Yeah, yeah.
with bitcoins around it, and like blocks and bricks to explain the you know how Europe is now adopting the BRICS
Yep.
system, and they're trying to trade amongst themselves without the US dollar,
Yeah, trying to cut
because
them out.
that's what was going on. Not that I'm saying, hey, F this, F that. I'm obviously, I live in this country.
Of course.
We have to deal with this.
Yeah.
And the regime and the people in charge who,
Hmm.
well, I feel shouldn't be. But what are you gonna do? How many battles you're gonna fight? I'm here selling
Exactly.
good, good weed, and there's other people trying to sell weed. And my main thing is that, we're we do these things vibrationally in tune.
Hmm.
Just check us out. I can't say they don't do it in vibrational tune or whatever they do.
Yeah.
I just know what I do. You know what
Exactly.
I'm
You just
saying?
focus on yourself, and the people will feel it. Like the authenticity, the products, the people. Like it all comes together. Like we feel it.
Yeah, man. And there's other dispensaries right now. One of them just closed.
Oh, work.
So there's gonna be a lot
Hmm.
closing. Just people that may not have like understood fully what they were getting into.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And everything is, you should start from the bottom and bootstrap. If you never sold nicks and dimes and then the dubs and then quarters and eight, all that kind of stuff up to pounds,
Yeah.
then it would be very indicative that you're gonna go crazy and hire crazy and get the biggest place, and then have so many bud tenders
Yeah.
to a month later have to slash everything, and then but really, if you thought about it from the beginning, right, that how you started,
Yep.
nicks and dimes, right,
Exactly.
block, broke it down, take what you could, take what you can move,
Hmm.
don't take more than what
Yeah.
don't bite off more than you could chew, live within your means,
Yeah. Good
right,
advice.
budget yourself, know what you have.
Hmm.
Don't go bankrupt trying to make the community, see that you're some big time, and
Yeah. It's like cloud
be
chasing.
100, be honest,
Hmm. Yep.
that's what it is. And then everybody else is perpetrating. There's a lot of people, I'm being honest, a lot of people that are now getting into this industry that have no business in this industry.
Right. Just because they think it's easy
Where's
money.
your money coming from? Where,
Yeah.
what is your agenda here? Where do you come from? When did you smoke weed ever? Like things like that. And
Hmm.
like, this is like, we had unfortunately, we had a magazine that I didn't really mess with last year,
Okay.
Honeysuckle.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh
I've seen some
so,
videos.
and they did some, they did some actions which I felt was in line with Zionist and anti um Islamic, I would say, like Islamophobic
Right.
kind of stuff, so whatever, we posted that, threw their magazine in the garbage.
Yep.
Just a straight up, like, hey, this is not acceptable. You guys beat women in the street. They're wearing
Yeah.
Palestinian flags on, you know, regardless of what the incident was. Like, you have a mom, I have a mom, I have two daughters.
Yeah.
You know, if
Many of them
anybody did
should
that to my
experience that.
daughters or my mom, I'll go crazy.
Facts.
So this is like, so regardless of Palestinian or whatever, this is
Yeah.
unacceptable.
It shouldn't have happened.
For these people to be then continue to be allowed in this industry, right?
Hmm. Yep.
So what? So let me go punch somebody in the face. You gonna let me back in the industry? I
Yeah. It
don't
just
think
makes no
so.
sense.
You know,
Exactly.
so
Hmm.
there's something going on. And like, this is I'm gonna go ahead and say another name. As recently, there's
Hmm.
an influencer comedian, Janet Sibbs.
Okay.
She is being allowed to be a content creator for the Revelry, which I have very much respect for.
Right.
I was there since day one of their first event. I
Mhm.
showed up with my then 1-year-old daughter
Yeah.
to their event, and now she's 3.5 years old.
Yeah.
So and we looked at the weed. We shot at each other. Everything was all good
Hmm.
and family. It's just that once things keep elevating and whatever, then I'm noticing that there's a misalignment here, just like the
Right.
vibration and the frequency and all that. That
Hmm.
this woman somehow got to be a content creator. I talked to them that, hey, like, she's saying a bunch of Islamophobic stuff. She said F Iran. She's
Right.
saying that if an Israeli boy comes to me saying F Iran, I suddenly get the urge to make bad decisions. Ooh, I'm hot. You know, these kind of weird things that you're like, what are you? You're inciting, like,
Yeah.
Islamic hate.
Hmm.
You're kind of rewarding, you know, this group
Yeah.
that's
Making
supposed
it
to
easy for them.
whisper in your ear about Islamic hate, that you reward them with sex and this and that. That is
Yeah.
absolutely weird,
Yeah.
And I
100%.
saw from the year previous
Hmm.
the honeysuckle people, which they're very close, honeysuckle and Dan at Sibs,
Right.
that the honeysuckle woman wrote a whole like dissertation, literally
Yeah.
online, about how don't believe us Muslims. We allegedly are suicide bombers that are sex
Wow.
crazed for 69 virgins that that are promised to us.
Yeah.
That is like literally nobody from my religion has told me that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you
Nobody
can't
told
find
me.
that in the Quran.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
No, no, I was just adding on to what you said. I've been studying the Quran for like the last 10 years. Like, you can't find anything like that. God tells us we're allowed to defend ourselves, but He doesn't love the aggressors. Like, we're not supposed to be going and being the ones to, like, be the first one to raise the sword. It's like, oh, you're raising your sword? This isn't the religion where we turn our cheek. This is where, like, we got to defend what's ours. Like, that's our God given right. But we're never supposed to be the aggressors. God tells us He doesn't
Suicide
love them.
is seen as
A huge sin.
wrong.
Yeah.
Is your that's a haram,
Huge sin. Yep.
right? So how are these people saying? I don't even want to say these people. How is this group, right?
Hmm.
Or these individuals, or however you want to call it? How are they saying that they have knowledge of our religion and our ways,
Yeah.
and apparently whatever, however they write it is how it is?
Yeah.
That
It's
we
just
can't even
propaganda.
I've never been taught this. No imam, no my mom, no my dad. Nobody has ever told me, yo, son, yo, don't be bugging out over here. Yo, go suicide bomb over there, and then we promise you 69 virgins when you die.
Yeah, exactly. I never heard that once in my life.
Where does that make sense?
Yeah, it came from the news, media.
That's propaganda. And that's
That's
just like
exactly what it is.
to further the war on terror that they started, right? Which,
Yep.
like we said, we just broke down the war on drugs, and this needs to be broken down. The war on terror is a war on Islam.
Yep.
It's a war on Middle Eastern nations that don't want to go with your monetary system, that
Hmm.
don't want to give up their oil, that don't necessarily want to be in the poppy fields, heroin fields, selling the world heroin on a grand scale,
Yeah.
you know? And they had stopped production. All of a sudden, the U.S. goes there and
Yeah.
restarts production.
When they went to
And then all the
Afghanistan.
heroin addicts and all the veterans are going to put on, tons and tons of this heroin on army planes and inside of dead bodies of their
Yeah.
mans and bring it to the U.S.
Hmm.
This is what that was. They took tons and tons of gold from Iraq and Afghanistan, all kinds of
Yeah.
things that they're doing. So oh yeah, we're over there spreading peace. Yeah, all right, man. They was already in peace. They didn't have weapons of mass destruction,
Yeah, that
right?
was a whole scam too.
The guy that you accused of orchestrating 9/11
Mhm.
was an ex CIA agent
Yeah, best friends with the Bush family.
exactly, and from Saudi Arabia, and his dad has big Saudi Arabian construction companies
Yeah,
hiding out
multi-millionaire family.
in Afghanistan conveniently, where you can go and rape and pillage the land.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it's absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, in that time, I remember I'm 11, 12 years old, getting
Yeah.
called Bin Laden and this and that, and
Hmm.
like
Yeah, that's tough.
just made us the new enemy. Like I'm
The
in
new
school,
boogeyman.
like, what I'm saying, like, fortunately, even like at 13, 14 years old,
Hmm.
I was smoking weed. I started smoking weed that year, like 11, 12 years old. I started
Yeah.
smoking weed.
Dang.
By
Okay.
12, 13, I was smoking weed every day.
Wow.
This is a direct result of the war on terror. All
Right.
right, I had to cope with these things.
Yeah.
And that made me feel good.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh. Like, there's things you're gonna see that make you want to cry, and all, and all these, how unfair this is, and this is was bringing us laughter and enjoyment again.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, because we're kids, and you just like took our innocence. You just took everything. Call me Bin Laden on the streets for walking around.
yeah,
Blame me for knocking down a building. I don't know what the f that's about.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
exactly.
you know. So anyway, and many other Muslims were affected in my. I went to elementary school. Many other Muslims were affected. You know, fortunately, um, I had like I didn't have that much of an issue.
Hmm.
We used to after school in junior high school go take the Q30, same buses all my whole life. It's the same Silk Road,
Yeah.
like I was saying. So I would take buses and we would go to like another elementary school and make out with these women like that went to school with us,
Yeah.
right? And one of them happened to be a Jewish girl.
Okay.
So we're like there was no racism still, right? Like I'm Muslim, I grew up Muslim, she's Jewish, she grew up Jewish.
Yeah.
This is 2003, and we're dating and kissing and walking around, right?
Yeah.
So like how does it go from that to several years later how badly they've ramped up this war on terror to
Hmm.
where someone like that would never consider dating me, would never consider smoking a joint with me, So this is
Yeah.
how they
Changed quick in two
turned
decades.
us against each other in a
Hmm.
matter of decades, right? And now
Yep.
there's a big divide in the cannabis community. Oh, this kid's Muslim. He got a camel logo,
Yeah.
right? Oh, yo, and he says free Palestine a lot. Screw that. We don't like this.
Hmm. Hmm.
What am I supposed to say? Right?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to say? That Israel has a right to defend itself? Yeah, sure. But that's just dehumanizing the other side.
Hmm.
That does the other side not have a right to do anything?
That's what they make it seem like.
So Eddie, that whole thing is like a world issue that
Yeah.
every day seems to be getting worse,
Yeah.
right? This is the war on terror. It's and then now like just was it yesterday that they killed the dude who was
Yeah.
forgot his
Charlie
name.
Kirk.
He was speech Chris something.
Charlie
He's
Kirk.
giving, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Charlie Kirk.
Chart. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just killed this guy. From what I saw, that he was like saying that hey, if I start speaking against Israel, they're gonna kill me.
Wow.
And then he
Yeah.
was on an interview questioning certain things like hey we question um sorry
Yeah.
excuse me he just started questioning in an interview that hey why are we aligned with Israel so much, this and that.
Yeah.
Prior to this he was very very vocal on
Pro.
that side.
He was like
So
pro Israel, right?
yeah, prior to this he was very
Wow.
pro
Wow.
Israel. Just recently he started speaking
Yeah, I
a
didn't know that.
little bit
Hmm.
and asking unbiased questions.
There you go.
And
Yep.
that's when they basically shot him and killed him. And then Bibi Netanyahu is on Twitter within minutes
Yep.
talking about him.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. That's scary. But really, I felt that that's not only is that a war on terror, but
Hmm.
it's evolved into um, a war on basically the truth
Yeah.
and unbiased news.
Yeah.
Because everything is biased. They give out scripts to all these news to say the same
All
damn
same
thing.
thing. Yep.
You hear it all. It's the same story,
Hmm.
and even their titles and how they say it. Like they'll
Yeah.
change certain words. Like insurgents were eliminated.
Yeah.
Like no, dude, you just killed innocent
That's what
people,
it
man,
is.
wife, their kids, and you bombed them to smithereens. This guy fucking got bombed, and then 20 feet in the air, you could see him in his chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like like that, and that's how you label things. So this is a very, very troubling time.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
concentrated effort it feels.
a lot of this is just like us coping. Cannabis is a good way to cope with all of this, and
Yeah.
and then meet in community circles and exchange your proper views and news, right?
Yeah.
Had we not been able to do that, would the war on drugs have ended?
Right.
Would it have turned out this fruitful for me?
Hmm.
Had we not been able to culturally exchange, or how Chris Alexander went and wrote a bunch of the MRTA?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dude's in his early 30s.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is ridiculous that we're able to do this now, and that was done for criminals like me.
Right.
And like Damian Fagan, social equity, he was a social equity officer at the OCM. Speak to him a lot.
Yeah.
Now he's
Yeah.
the Bronx Cannabis Hub. Like these guys really are impactful, and
No doubt.
they're part of the just turning this whole thing around, and that's in, I believe, in vibrational alignment with what we should be doing and what we want to be doing.
Hmm.
And this is just weed. Like, the world has to change in general, the consciousness and everything like that,
Yeah.
to actually love and respect each other
Yeah.
and the plant, and everything in general, right? You're like, we're like dirtying the ocean's waters. We're like living in
Yeah.
filth and pollution, and just everybody's turned into cattle, and we're all livestock, right? In a
Hmm.
big circle to just enslave us, and throw
Yep.
us paper dollars that aren't backed by anything, and you
Printed
go
out of
work
thin
for
air.
it while
Yep.
they print out double the circulation, and everything you worked for has been you know halved
Yeah.
overnight.
Overnight.
So this is the kind of trap we're living in, and this is
Yep.
hard to say. That's why I have these imageries and these kind of things there, just to show people and remind people, because
Yeah.
it gets very serious, it gets very deep.
It does get
uh,
very deep.
you don't want to scare people, and they're getting high. You
Hmm.
don't want to make them paranoid.
Yeah.
But the government, I feel, is somewhat against us and freedom, and all of these things. Like, we have the amendment second, whatever, the right to bear arms, but can
Yeah.
we bear arms? Not really.
Yeah.
All of these things are a factor, and then so war on terrorism, war on drugs, war on the truth and unbiased media,
Hmm.
like Prosper Media.
Yeah.
Things like that. So this is a very common theme, and the revelry is tomorrow.
Hmm.
These are is a highly respected cannabis event. They
Sure.
threw all the buyers events for us,
Right.
and just like right before I entered your interview, man,
Huh?
somebody sent me literally, like, I have young boys everywhere, like they watch, and I don't be online sometimes. They send it to me like, hey man,
Right.
like, you aware that this farm guy who cooperated with the police is now a content creator too, and he's gonna be there. So
Wow.
once again, misalignment of vibration
Yeah.
and frequency, right? Just like the other content creator, the comedian woman, who's clearly, what would you say, Islamophobic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that I feel is against the community, and misalignment of vibration, and
Hmm.
the man who cooperated and is now trying to sell his stuff on the legal market, and sell it to everybody. That's a misalignment, in
Yeah.
my opinion. You know,
100%.
I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to, like, condone cooperating? Like, I've been on
Exactly.
the other side of getting certain. I call that home invasion. When the cops come to your house and search your whole thing and take you, I
Yeah.
call that a home invasion.
Yeah.
You're
It's not a fun
sending
time for sure.
uncontrollable armed gunmen to
Yeah.
my house. I could have kids. I could have my wife there. I could have my mom there. What happens when I come home and
Yep.
see it on the paperwork that your name is on this?
Hmm.
These people don't think like that. Like,
Yeah.
there's consequences to this. Like, I grew up in the '90s over here. Like, this wasn't no simple block.
Yeah.
Like, So, I don't know. These people might be from Jersey or wherever. Like, even in Jersey, like, I know issues real everywhere you go. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so it's a matter of time. That has nothing to do. We don't have to say anything. We don't have to do anything. These things get sorted out by themselves.
Yeah.
Just like you've seen in the in the news recently, and all these countries are now
Hmm.
saying, hey, especially Qatar, that hey, man, you guys are trying to enact this Greater Israel project. You guys got to stop. This is a little too much. Saudi Arabia's in there saying the same thing right about now,
Yeah.
as of yesterday, right? I know they might have a whole bunch of evidence on these guys, Epstein files and all that, Mr. Prince. So Saudi Arabia be
No
going to
doubt.
that island. So, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? They might control him and own him a little bit. But,
Hmm.
that's where the complications of the world are. But,
Yeah.
either way, like, things got to get right. Things will be corrected, right?
Yeah. All in due time.
One way or the other.
Yep.
And this is also why I show Ancient Aliens
Hmm.
and all these kind of things, because I personally feel that we are not the most technologically advanced human civilization to live on Earth. I
Yeah.
feel we're technologically disadvantaged
Yeah.
compared to other civilizations that were before us.
Yeah. I can see that.
Especially when you see these grand buildings and
Yeah.
architecture and structure, it looked like they were, getting energy from the environment. And this,
Hmm.
it says it like, how they say that we're not even a type 1 civilization, and there's 7 types of civilizations, and with them being able to fully utilize all the power in the planet
Yeah. Yep.
and harness these things, right? So if we can't even do that, and we're fighting amongst each other and killing each other, like, dude, we have a
Yeah. We're
lot
so
to work on.
backwards.
This may
Exactly.
be why aliens haven't really, because they probably see us as these guys are imps,
Yeah.
and
These guys are so dumb.
monkeys still, right, to each other.
They pay taxes to live here.
Right. So who owns this? Who owns this thing? Right.
Exactly.
So a lot of progression is coming. I see that they're trying to stop property taxes, things
Hmm.
like that, which would be great. I don't
Yeah.
know
It's a good
how it
start.
is in Canada for you guys, but that's what they're trying to do in the U.S. now.
I wish it's still. Well, they still got it going here. Like every year, you got to pay it.
Right, right, right. So this is a bunch of unfair things.
Yeah.
The UN just recently voted to move out of the U.S. as their headquarters to go back to
Whoa.
Geneva,
Wow.
and every nation agreed to this
Hmm.
except 2 nations. You and I know which 2 nations.
Yeah. You already know.
So, disagree. No, we strongly disagree, guys.
Yeah.
But the rest of the world was like, no, fuck no, we out of
Time to move out.
here. So it's working. I feel like the
Mm.
you know how the president Bibi Netanyahu keeps going and saying we're losing the propaganda war, we're losing the
Yeah.
propaganda war. That's correct, because you created some shit that you can't win,
Yep.
and now you're losing and you're crying. And this may be why the gentleman yesterday, whatever his name is, was assassinated,
Yeah.
right? Always like an insider false flag kind of weird stuff going on.
Yep.
This is 9/11 today, right? 9/11 2025. Even like, 1995,
Right.
which is 30 years ago, Netanyahu wrote a book. In that book, he says if you don't watch out for Islamic radical terrorism, that they're gonna end up flying a plane right into the towers.
Yeah. He said those words
Like,
in his book.
you projecting mad hard, bro. You're projecting mad hard, bro. You know?
Yeah. He told on himself there.
Yeah. So, I mean, what else, man? I'm gonna, dial it back from my rants, and I'll take a dab. And if however you want to ask me, you could start from the beginning.
Yeah.
I felt like we let off a lot of good, a
Yeah. We
lot
got a
of
lot
good
of
points.
good points
A
for
lot of
sure.
exclamation points were made.
Facts. Oh, we
Hell
touched on
yeah,
some
man.
good topics, bro, for sure. I
Heck
mean, there's
yeah,
topics
man.
that we got to talk about like off camera too, though. There's definitely something more there too.
For sure, man. For sure, man. You tell me, man. I'm available for this kind of stuff.
Yeah. All
So,
right, dope. We gotta set it up one without any recording though. We'll
heck
just like
yeah,
kick
heck
it.
yeah. And I remember you had a bunch of questions for just how it started and all that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much ready to go whenever you want to start.
Yeah.
And basically, this is not Islamic terrorism, but
No.
this is an Dabber right here, you know.
Yeah. Gotta be careful where
Wait,
you
wait,
point that thing, bro.
let me show you this one. Let me show you this one. You know how they call us suicide bombers and all that, you know?
Yeah,
This
what
is
is that, rocket launcher?
Dabber. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know how
That's
they
kind of
sent
dope
that
though.
couple of terrorists from Hamas,
Yeah.
you know, stuck in with RPGs at a gate that they told them the IDF not to watch that day for a couple hours. Speak of false flag, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's just set up. You know what it reminds me of? It's just something that happened, I think, I forget exactly, 60s, 70s, Operation Northwoods, where they were the Joint Chiefs of Staff, they all signed off on it. They're like, let's bomb Guantanamo, we'll blame Cuba and let's go to war with them. And like, yo, it's proof. Like they just, I think it was
JFK
JFK. Yeah, he's like, I'm not
invented
doing
that
this.
shit,
Yep,
and they assassinated him like very shortly after.
very shortly.
And we have all these interviews of him saying there's a plan to take over every man and woman and
Bro,
child in
I
this
was
nation.
just thinking of that speech. His key words were there's a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy against every man, woman, and child. I was like, damn, bro, like he doesn't have to spell it out any more than that.
There absolutely is, and there still
Yeah,
is, and it's worse now. And you got Bill Gates masquerading around, you know, oh yeah, oh, yo, the COVID is good, the COVID is good. Where is the COVID vaccine good right now?
yeah, it
You
caused
know,
a lot of
like
issues.
like unfortunately, I've managed to smile through that. It killed my grandma. Like my grandma was fine.
Yeah.
Gave her the COVID shot,
Mhm.
and literally like she came up to me when I went to visit my parents' house, like, oh, I don't feel good. I
Oh
don't feel
man,
good. This doesn't feel good at all. Ever since that shot, I don't
she was
feel like
saying
I'm.
that.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah. And within a week, she passed.
and sorry for
Literally
your loss,
off
bro.
of
Yeah.
off of something that she never had an issue. That she just started coughing.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, blood was coming out. Blood was
What?
coming out. Could no longer breathe, and she passed. You know,
Yeah,
literally, I made it there in 6 minutes from all the way across town, Jamaica, to my house.
yeah,
Like, put on my emergency blinkers and ran every red light ever to
yeah, yeah,
go,
yeah. To see
go
her.
see. You know, this is insane.
Yeah, that's messed
You
up.
know, but like I was saying, the COVID, all these things are like kind of just made up. And remember, just to take it back to 9/11 time, you do recall that they had reports of Muslims mailing anthrax
Yeah, I remember that. They're sent to the White House
reports,
and stuff, right?
were they substantiated? Never.
Hmm.
Were they who did they get anybody? Never.
Yeah, they just
You
put it in
know,
the
because
news.
you know, and yeah, it's exactly. And you're in the news, but the news is supposed to be unbiased
Yeah,
and have sources and be able to be checked, right?
yep.
So that's literally propaganda.
Yeah, literally.
You released it to the whole nation that, oh, Muslims are mailing out this and that. I don't know what the fuck anthrax is.
Yeah, that's the first time anyone heard of it.
I might have had powder in an envelope, but it definitely wasn't anthrax. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know,
Yeah,
so so anyway, so that's kind of where it's like, what are they doing to us
yeah.
specifically, right?
Hmm.
And I'm here in my own community, right up the block. It says Little Bangladesh, right?
Yeah.
People all, when once weed was legalized so quickly in 2022, all
Hmm.
of these delis started opening up,
Yeah.
and they didn't give a crap what they're selling. They'll buy the cheapest things, and they're buying all gelatin laced edibles.
Yikes.
You know what I mean? You're giving my people something that they're not supposed to have, they don't want to have,
Yep.
and you're not even telling them. You
Yeah.
know, it's stuffing it down their throats at the cheapest price, no taxes, all these kind of things. So it was a
Mm,
personal thing for me to open up right here in my own hood and do the
mm,
right thing by the people and put halal friendly, no
yeah, that's
gelatin
dope. Hmm.
laced products on this. And that's me sticking my neck out because you remember I said Jamaican Muslim Center is right up the block, 168th Street.
Yeah.
They don't like weed,
Mm,
but I'm still
understandable.
there and I still have to, that, hey, yeah, I know you guys don't like weed, but our people, are, consuming these things,
Yeah,
and they're having to go to these local delis that are selling them pork laced products, gelatin laced products.
exactly.
I'm not saying it, not labeling it, not keeping it properly,
Yeah,
you know, and that's
100%.
misaligned with our vibration and frequency once again,
Yeah. And like,
So it's nice to that.
no, no doubt, no doubt. It definitely messes with like the vibration. Especially what I don't get is like they still fall for the stigma. They act as if like alcohol and weed is the same thing. Like one of them is literally a plant that God made. Like it just grows out of the ground like that. And you don't even have to smoke it. Like you can make a tea out of it, you can put it into cookies, make an oil out of it, put it in when you're making chicken. Like it's not about like it's not alcohol where you gotta like ferment it or go through a whole distillation process or whatever you have to do. And then the effects that come when you're drunk are not like when you're high. Like you can use or abuse like weed, right? Like you can be like a stoner, you don't do anything at home, or you could just like you just hit a dab, but you're putting in work like 16-hour days, whatever, right? But with alcohol, like we know, like it's always negative. Like you don't just become like a better worker. You don't become like for example, like a lot of people like they smoke and drive, and you can't even tell if they're high. But with alcohol, we see right away that their vision impairs. They did studies on driving, and they saw like as long as you're like a somewhat seasoned smoker, like it's not like your first few times smoking, you're driving the exact same. If anything, you're more like cautious on the road versus like someone that's new that might have a bit of anxiety. So it's crazy how like I'm not saying like, hey, everyone should just be like a stoner pothead like that, but like, yo, this is like a gift from God. Like you can use it or abuse it. Like, don't like just give it up and act like it's the same as alcohol.
I completely agree. Not just because I'm not a drinker,
Yeah,
not a drinker.
that's it. Me
Last
neither.
time I drank was when Benny the Butcher was here on June 19th, and everyone's like, I insist, I insist. I was like, all right,
Yeah,
man, only it's a special occasion.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I really dislike drinking,
yeah.
and I feel
I
like
feel you.
it just just reduces my inhibitions,
Yeah,
where I go and say things that I don't want to say, and I go do things that I would otherwise not do.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and that's just
100%.
like a Xanax or a cocaine. Like you should not have these things. You should not do these things.
Yeah,
Without a medical, like, oh yeah, cocaine, you could numb yourself in your body for surgery or whatever.
right.
But I wouldn't say to sniff it up your nose ever after having sold so much of it and done a bunch of it, to know that, hey, this will mess up your life. This will make you say the worst things. This will
Yeah,
make you potentially do the worst things and
do the
harm people.
worst things, say the word. Exactly, exactly.
So, but really, back to the alcohol thing, it's just like we're fighting big money and big interests, that are way beyond us, and like, America has been, like, in my opinion, conditioned
Yeah,
and
yeah,
programmed that they like after work, and even
yeah.
in
You
like
get a
the
drink.
evening show and all these things, they're drinking beers,
Always.
or even like, you go after work and you got to have shots at the bar,
Yeah, five
you know,
o'clock happy hour. It's like a cultural thing now.
right? And all the music is so shot, 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 this
Yeah,
and that. You go to a party, it's drinking games,
always.
you know. And this is our college, our youth that's supposed to, like, these doctors that are coming up, these lawyers that are coming up, right?
Hmm.
Um, why would we want them to be belligerently drunk the whole time that they're supposed to be learning?
Yeah,
But that's the culture, right? You go to
it's the
college, you go.
culture.
I went to Stony Brook, it's party school. They
Hmm.
call it Stoner Brook, like, so
Yeah,
and I had a full scholarship, and we were, that was basically a license to hustle and go crazy in a forest full of rich people's kids
yeah,
that I could hustle. So then I'll bring the yay, I'll bring the pills, I'll bring the Xanax, I'll bring the bud, to every building in that campus that I was doing this at.
yeah.
Uh, and I was going there from 2008 to 2012. And I would drop off Sunday nights to every building that, a couple pounds, a couple 8 balls, a couple this, that, and
Damn.
and just, set up shop everywhere. And this is how it was, unfortunately,
Yeah,
that, so in America, and remember, drinking was so heavy, you
yeah.
know the
It is.
colleges, just that drug stuff was a side thing. There were mainly beer pong everywhere, It's America is, like I said, conditioned and ingrained, and I'm literally trying to fight that, reverse that. Instead of you going to a bar taking a shot after work,
Yeah,
I would want to urge that you come and take a dab.
that's better.
Come and dab with me after work. You saw that
Yeah,
I just took a dab. Am I any different? I'm all good. Like I'm talking to you. I feel better.
yeah,
Like there's no drunkenness. There's no,
yeah.
none of
And then,
it.
correct me if I'm wrong, you would know this best, but dabs is like the healthiest way to, I guess, smoke cannabis, right? Like it's cleanest or something.
I would say it is, in my opinion, the most safest form
Safest
of
one.
inhalation
Okay.
of cannabis, THC.
Hmm.
Because you could combust it in a joint or a bowl in a
Yeah,
bomb. You light it with the fire, that's gonna cause combustion, and that you're heating it.
there's residue and stuff.
Burning the crystals, that those crystals off of the plant matter are the psychoactive, you know chemicals,
You're
right?
right.
And once you burn it, you might burn it too hot, and it creates a complex hydrocarbon that your body may
Mm,
not even have the proper receptors for. You
yeah,
got receptors for delta 9 THC,
yeah,
right? So if you want proper delta 9 THC, in my opinion, and my desired method is that you vaporize it at exactly the right temperature,
yeah.
right? Well, first you separate the oils from the plant matter, because you don't need to combust this plant matter to get yourself high.
There you go.
That's the carcinogens and the cancer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's the smoking that they want you to do. So you could be in the hospital, and you could make money for the system the rest of your life.
right. You become patient.
Why not extract the through a natural, non-chemical methods,
Hmm.
like running ice cold water across of your plant matter,
Hmm.
cleaving the crystals off of it, because the ice cold water is going to pull the crystals, is going to harden the crystals
Oh,
and pull
okay.
it right off with the water, and
Yep.
then you put it through a screen, and you and
You
you
just
get
collect
that,
it.
you just like you try to remove the water,
Yeah.
and then you freeze dry, you dry regularly,
Okay.
though it's called hash,
Oh, that's how
right?
you
At
make it.
one point, and then you're taking the hash, and you could either smoke the hash right there,
Hmm.
combust the hash, and it's a full flavor profile,
Right.
um, or you can sift the hash too and get lower grade hash and smoke that, and higher hash that's damn near full melt quality.
Wow.
You could vaporize that right away like a
Hmm.
dab, or take it to the next level of actually processing it into just a pure oil form.
Wow. Okay.
Taking hash, and you're putting it through a micron screen, right? You're putting it inside
Oh.
of a screen. So when you squish it with heat and pressure,
Hmm.
so you ideally want to do this around like 180 degrees, 200 degrees.
Okay.
Other people use different temperatures. That's just what I do with flour sometimes.
Hmm.
And you put it through a 6 to 10 ton, 12 ton, whatever ton press you want to put it through,
Wow. Okay.
and you're squeezing the essential oils out of that,
Okay.
that ash or that flour, what have you,
Hmm.
and it goes right through the screens, the micron screens, and oozes out, and you put a parchment there, and you collect it on the parchment, and then
Oh.
that's your rosin. And
Yeah.
that is called fresh press, because it hasn't yet got a chance to cold cure and
And
butter
get
up and
hard.
look like
Yeah.
a fat,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Uh-huh.
right? So then you have, like, it just looks like, like what do you call it, like agave oil,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
agave. It looks like that, and I'll take, that's what I had in on my dabber, my
Uh-huh.
excuse my violence over here, uh, but so that's essentially what I had there.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's like what?
That right there is that, and that's all it takes for you to feel almost like half a joint or a joint's worth of high. If you're smoking a
Dang.
joint with 2 3 people, you
Yeah.
won't even get this high.
Right.
You
Right.
get
Right.
in 2 2 minutes, without rolling up, without doing your lips damage, your teeth damage, your tongue, your mucous membranes, all that stuff with smoking and inhalation of
Good point.
smoke. You're taking a vapor,
Yeah. Okay.
and then you stay hydrated, and you breathe, and it's in and out, and you're good. and I haven't seen anybody with popcorn lungs, anything like that,
Right.
from this method,
No metal.
as long as they're using solventless concentrates. This
Okay.
is rosin. This is solventless. It was used cold water, ice cold water, to extract the crystals. If they're using BHO, or some people use like a distillate. It's an alcohol extraction.
Hmm?
Those things are, depending on how much you purge them or not, you could still have particulates of the solvent. Even after you purge them, you're still going to have it to parts per million.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Makes sense.
so I would prefer this.
Yeah.
That's my preferred safest method. I will say, just in a disclaimer, that if you do like get moldy product and things like that,
Hmm.
and you turn it into rosin, it will go right through into the rosin. So
Oh,
just always, just be very careful of where you source it and who you source it from, and always get these things tested. You're
yeah. Get a
putting things
buzz.
through your lungs and your throat. One of my connects in Humboldt,
Hmm.
2017, randomly smoked a vape from somebody at a
Yeah.
show,
Hmm.
and then ended up with throat cancer.
What?
Yeah, like, unfortunately. So just really be
Whoa.
careful, and just take everybody's product. I don't care where it came from. Read those COAs, and it could still be, like, go with your
Hmm.
gut feeling, go with your intuition. Try to preferably also put things through water. You know,
Hmm.
that's ideal. Even if you're smoking weed, put it through a water bomb. You know,
Yeah.
don't trust random people. Trust a certified, credible source
Yeah.
for
That's
these
good
products.
advice. Hmm.
Because you're looking at food in the supermarket with labels, right? How much GMOs it has, or whatever, what
Yep.
have you. Um, there's just no labeling like that right now for cannabis. You
Yeah.
know,
People are like cutting
credibility.
corners, trying to make extra money.
From. And this is like, to me, it's like, like blood diamonds. Like,
Yeah.
diamond that was, that was bled over, and this and that, people died over, or you're gonna buy some weed that somebody got raided over, and and their family had to go to jail to see them, and like
Yeah.
my mom had, when I went to Rikers Island, my mom had a nose ring,
Oh, for real?
and it wouldn't come out. Like, literally, they,
Oh.
to visit me, they made her take it off of her nose. She was bleeding.
Oh man, because you probably had it for so long, right? Like they're just
Yeah,
like the metal detector, as if like there was a gun or something there. Like, come on, man,
yeah, man.
insane.
So that's, the blood diamond, blood weed. Like, we don't want to,
Yeah.
like, don't bring us anything that's gonna misalign with my natural frequency of vibration, because I'll send you back. So,
Nah, it's facts. You gotta protect your own, bro. I love that. Like, it's none of this like turn the other cheek. Like that's how you get like run over.
word, word,
Yeah,
man.
it's dope.
Yeah. I mean, anything else you want to know? You want to ask me, man? We're just trying to just, like, progress, really, and
Yeah,
and double or triple our numbers, and do
yeah,
what they said we couldn't.
yeah. Inshallah,
And
you will,
survive
bro.
what they said we
Yes, sir.
couldn't, actually do it. And just, this is basically for the community, because, like, they did have another dispensary here. But this is, I'm on a different side of the Coliseum,
Okay.
and this is really where I grew up, and I wouldn't have had it anywhere else.
Yeah,
Like,
it's dope.
literally, my parking is attached to a Home Depot parking. You know what I'm saying? And bought material, sheetrock, and came in here, and did it, and bought HDMI cables, whatever the hell I
Put it
needed,
all
and just
together.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
really.
this spot, I was gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
like this spot that you're in, you probably walked by it like thousands of times growing up, and then one day like it became your spot, huh?
Across the street is a children's clothing store called Cookies.
Okay.
That in elementary school, we used to come there and have to buy our school
School
clothes,
clothes. Wow.
uniforms, and then we would go across the street to a store that was, at the time, a McDonald's,
Okay.
and I would
Wow.
buy French fries and eat them. And I saw that they had an maximum occupancy
Hmm.
of 200 people, and I saw that they had two bathrooms. And now, years later, I basically run a dispensary out of that McDonald's,
Yeah.
and I kept the same two bathrooms in the same area. And
That's tight.
extraction fans that they had and hooked it up. So I got extraction fans and a whole nice, unique system
Yeah.
that I felt that, they promised us that we would have a consumption lounge ability and capability. And I took that by the.
Yeah, that was dope. I've been
Had
seeing
it
the videos. It looks dope.
in writing, but so I'm here now
You're here
with
now.
them. Like I said, right behind is that Home Depot.
Mhm.
I've sold thousands of pounds out of this Home Depot. Remember, it's 4 blocks away. If I want to meet somebody, I'll show them where I'm at.
Yeah,
I'll come in my
this is the
Range
spot.
Rover with the money counter, with all the butt in the trunk, and count all the money and secure it, and then pop the trunk and let them take it.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and coming from selling bud in the same parking lot to then again selling bud in the same parking lot.
Yeah, you're on the other side of the legality fence now.
Yeah, man. So it's wonderful. It's a dream come true.
No doubt.
For those who really, really wanted to do this and had that vision to do this and be in this, this
Yeah.
is great. Just many other people, like I said, misalignment. The
Yeah.
vibration or frequency. We're gonna find out what happens with that. Like this is New York. Everybody wants to do business and everybody wants
Yeah.
to make money. They want to get into things that they may not fully understand. And this is good to hear from people like me. I've been, on this side
Yeah.
and that side. And,
Yeah. Legit.
just like they don't know about ever getting robbed or getting set up or anything like that. They just think everything is all sweet and they're gonna come in and make money. Oh, I know. Oh, Sohan calls this guy and gets it, and then calls that guy and sells it, and it's that easy. Let me just get these two numbers and it's all good.
Yeah.
And like I said, go
It's a
try
lot
that.
that they don't see.
Go try that. You're gonna
You
find out.
know? Legit. That's from the years of experience. Like you know that it's not that easy.
Yeah. Yup. And there was a lot of trials, tribulations,
No doubt.
and things that you have to go through. That if you didn't live it,
No
you
facts.
just it's all. And I might make this look easy, but this ain't none of that.
Nah, no doubt. I mean, yo, bro, you definitely make it look easy, but like you can't even imagine spending time at Rikers. Forget like 8 months, even a month would be kind of wild to think about.
Man, I was on Rikers. This guy used blood.
Huh?
He literally accused me of, yo, I hear people knock down the towers. Fuck's wrong? I'm
Yo,
gonna take you to the bathroom, beat you up, this and that, all kinds of
wow.
things. He was a little joking, but he was half serious. He
Yeah.
couldn't physically beat me up, but he was trying.
Right.
But I came with a witty, nice answer, like, yo, man, nah, that was your man Bush, man. You ever heard the Jadakiss song "Bush Knocked Down the Towers"? So
Damn,
that immediately got the whole
that connection.
the whole section laughing. There was a bunch of blood people there. It was the whole section was laughing. So I knew they fucked with me.
You hit him
And
home.
later
You hit home with that one line.
they gave me one of two beds in that whole house that you could smoke at.
Oh,
Because I used to always have the
bud. Damn, so you became kind of like the plug in there too or something. Like they just knew you after that one line.
I mean, I always knew how to fashion like a lighter.
Okay.
Like I'll take some headphones and take the wires.
What?
And I'll take a battery and I'll clip the
you can make
battery
the
at
sparks.
where you could, touch the positive and negative and heat the coil up.
Yep.
And then I'll get a little piece of paper that's easy to light that up, or a wick or something.
Yeah.
Piece of string.
That's
and then
lighter.
just pass it to people as there's a lighter. I was a lighter to me, for sure.
Damn, yo, that's a useful skill for sure.
Yeah, man. So I find just when you're bored, you find yourself useful in
But that fits
crime
like
the.
You know what it does? It fits like that cannabis stereotype where like people that smoke they just become engineers when necessity calls for it.
Yeah, that was literally the case. But yeah, this guy asked me these things. You know how like it's just like you're bored, you have nothing to do, you're gonna shower 3 times a day, you're gonna get on the phone a couple times,
Yep.
and all you have to do is stare at people around you. I'm there praying 5 times a day. I have a prayer mat. They used to call me Aladdin because of it.
Yeah.
because I would go everywhere I go. You see the
You got the
prayer mat.
carpet.
It looked
Yeah,
like
yeah.
up from the cartoon, like it looked like that. And then when I'm actually praying, and they're like, "Oh, look, he's flying right now. Where is he going today?" I'm just like, yo, shut up, like
You don't try to pray seriously. They're cracking jokes.
Huh, yeah, man, yeah, and so that's kind of how a lot of the time was spent, but a lot of learning did happen,
Yeah.
and a lot of growing did happen, and especially just putting things into perspective of like how when you're young
Hmm.
and you're drug dealer and you make a bunch of money, your man's gives you a gun at 16, you think you're the man, but I
Yeah.
was literally like still like 120 pounds, 140 pounds, like obviously I come from a good family and then I didn't raise me like that, so
Yeah.
that it's that to just see that hey, this is not you, the construct of what a gangster is and this and that
Yeah.
is certainly not what I want to be after seeing these people in jail and how they act, and this is what's gangster, and like I was like hell no,
Yeah.
hell
Yeah.
no. This put a lot of things into perspective that what I want to do is I want to be there for my family and be the best that I could possibly be,
Yeah. I love
and
that.
and not be selling drugs and harming people,
Hmm.
and doing positive things like
Yep.
selling this plant
There you
and
go.
spreading that positive vibration and keeping the negative vibrations away from adultering the experience that you're
Yeah.
giving
No, I love
through
that. It's a dope
selling
mission.
them this plant.
Yeah. That's beautiful, bro. No pun intended. That's a dope mission, though.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Um.
So,
Sohan,
that's
I
what it
gotta.
is, man. We coming up, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the Silk. The name is Silk Road, and you know what? Where it originated, and this connected Southeast Asia, damn near from China all the way
Yeah.
to, our part of like Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, to
Hmm.
all the way to damn near Europe and the Middle East,
Yeah.
right through the Middle East, Persia, Iran, all these areas that were, of ancient significance, Babylon,
Yeah.
all that was the Silk
Yep.
Road, and into Africa and into Europe, and through the transatlantic slave trade,
Yep.
the cannabis that was exchanged through this whole route got to Jamaica's and the South Americas and all the way up to New
Oh,
York City,
okay.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's the Silk Road, in my opinion, and as historical fact.
Yeah.
And then there's also the Silk Road, that is the dark web website that was
Yeah.
billions of dollars in at that time of bitcoins exchanged,
Hmm.
and that exposed me to bitcoins at $90, $100.
Dang. Nice.
I was locked up showing some COs that on their phone that what they should invest in. I know some of them got millions because of me.
Hey,
Should
let's
you
go.
come through and hook me up? You see my face, it's Silk Road. But
Yeah.
so these kind of things like the website, the ancient trade route, and just letting the people know,
Yeah.
what it is, like all these messages that I was talking about subliminally, and literally, and this was like the guy just he was in jail for life, and he got
Damn.
pardoned. Now he's
Yeah.
home. He did created a great system of anonymously shopping
Okay.
and delivering to your house safely and discreetly.
Yeah. That's
That's
needed.
what I want to do. I want to be an e-commerce giant in selling drugs, just like that. You know?
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. One step at a time, bro. Don't no doubt. That's within the realms of possibility for sure.
Yes,
Dope.
sir. Yes, sir.
So and I gotta ask you, like, if somebody else wants to like follow your footsteps, like go from legacy to legal, like what advice would you give them? Maybe one lesson, something to live by.
If they're already in the legacy,
Hmm.
and they want to go legal, don't quit your day job. And definitely, keep at it and just listen to yourself. If you're already doing it, you already know what's right and what's wrong. So,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
just find your way. And it may not even have to be legal because, like, you're sign up to pay taxes and this and that.
Yeah.
Just remain, and you'll find a way. Like this was a way for me to just kind of flex really what I was already doing.
Yeah.
So if you're in the legal market, just work on sorry, in the legacy market, work
Hmm.
on just getting your name out there, getting your funds up, so you can one day be prepared to do something like this when the opportunity arises. Because, like,
There you go.
without a savings, without anything, where would I have been? Where would I,
Yeah,
without those decisions?
definitely.
I would have been subject to taking somebody's funding, give out equity, and not be able to speak freely and do things the way I do.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's great advice. I think there's like this equation where it's like luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So like you said, like don't quit your day job, like work towards it, be ready for it, because when the time comes, like you want to be able to have the funds, for example, to jump on it versus like, oh, I wish I did things differently a couple years ago so I could be ready now. Yeah, no, that's great advice, bro, for sure. Um, yeah, I think this was a killer interview, bro. Took like hour and a half of your time, so I appreciate that. Like, really great. Learned a lot of good things, bro. My
Appreciate that.
pleasure.
We have a lot of sorting out to do and editing now because it was all
Yeah,
over
it's
the
gonna take some
place.
time.
But
That's all good. It was a good
it's
interview.
good, and this was a necessary thing. And even if
Definitely.
they may not get a wealth of knowledge from this one conversation, but it is something to smoke a joint to, or smoke a blunt to, or take a dab
Yeah,
to.
100%,
It's
100%.
very relevant to me, you, and the cannabis industry.
Definitely. There's a lot of stories that people can learn just from hearing like what you've been through. And then like one thing I gotta give a shout out to is like she was your girlfriend at the time, and now you guys got married, right? Or like you've been married for a while now. You got kids and everything.
We're not legally married, but she is the children.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So we're just for like legal reasons. We're
No, I get it because you kind of like you get married to the state when you do things that way. So and I get that too.
exactly, that's
Yeah,
kind of where the thing is, because that's not
that's
my,
smart. Yeah.
that's, and then on top of that, the way licensing and things work out and holding,
Yeah, it's smarter to do it this way. As long as you both have that connection, like, yo, like we don't need the state to like tell us what we are. No, I love that. And just the reason I brought that up was just because like you guys been through it like together. Like there was no snitching. It's like I got her back, she's got my back. So that's I think like a beautiful like story within your story in itself. Like that's
right,
the kind
that's
of person we all want.
a court appointed marriage license, like how
Yeah, like what does
I was
that prove?
trying to eat for 20 something years before I got weed licensed. So it's like, what is that?
Yeah, exactly. Like they're not going to be the ones to tell us like what we're doing, what we're not. I like that. Beauty, awesome. I have to give that shout out though, because when you told me, I'm like, oh, it's the same person, and it just goes to show like when you have like that type of person on like behind you, um, there's that saying, and like it's stories like this where these sayings start to make sense. It's like behind every great man is a woman, like someone that kind of supports you, has your back, like hey, like we'll get through this together. So that was like really cool to hear, bro, for sure. Like that was,
So
yeah.
she's a license holder as well. So
Okay, dope.
she's half Samoan, half Mexican.
Okay,
She,
never heard
she's
that.
her tribe,
Okay.
and so,
Whoa, what?
so, yeah, so
Yo, so Sohan, we do have like the Women of Weed series that we do. If she's down, like we'd love to have her on too. She can share her story, like her side of like sitting on the bench eating the fries and they're trying to break her. Like that would be cool
I'm sure she'll be down.
for sure. All right, dope. So what we'll do is I'll work on editing this. I'll send you the link and everything. I do have a couple other episodes to like edit before this one because the Green Print series is kind of new. But I'll keep you posted when it happens. I'll tag you and everything. And then let me know if she wants to do the interview. We could do it next week, the week after, whenever. And yeah, we could set that up. You guys can do it together if you want, like whatever makes sense for you guys, all right?
For sure. Sounds good.
Awesome, dope. I
So
awesome, man.
have
Yes,
a good
sir.
one.
You
That
too.
was a crazy 9/11, man. We did
Yeah,
it.
it was a good hour and a half together, bro, for sure. And like, yo, we can definitely like go in on some other things and like stuff that can't go on the record. So I think we gotta have that conversation eventually too. So kind of about what's happening around the world.
For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, I felt like it was a very nice tour of what events, and it wasn't too in depth, and it wasn't like these guys are anti-Semitic. Look at them.
Yeah,
Like I
come
felt
on.
like I said everything, even if you took it out of context, it was very
Yeah,
correct.
Nah, it's not like that. Yeah, so I'll give you a quick story about that thing. Like I went to York University here in like the Toronto area, and they have like a sizable Jewish population. And like yo, I met like good Jews, like people that were like they had my back. They were like we became friends to the level where they're like, yo, let's go play tennis. Like I'll come pick you up, and we live in like opposite cities. So it just goes to show there's good and bad people in like every community. It's not like oh all Jewish people are bad or all Muslim people are bad, all Christians, whatever. There's good and bad apples everywhere.
Regular people, everybody, is
Yes, sir.
works out that way. Unfortunately, there's these kind of influences.
Yeah.
And I felt like it's like a toxic, like they just kind of like change people to like now you're just against me, and you can't even articulate why. Because
Yeah.
I
They
don't
just have
kill
this
none of
hate.
your people, but you just want like Muslims to go away and die so you could take their land. Like why
That's what it is.
allow yourself to be brainwashed? I'm
Yeah.
I'm just being
Yeah, bro. It's just like I don't know. They just want something from nothing, I guess. Like it was just promised to us, so give it to us or whatever.
Bro, I had a friend, literally, I went to junior high school with him.
Yeah.
And he used to be coming along and taking the bus with us to the other elementary schools, and we used to take, do these dates and shit. We're, shit like that, alerting, and we used to smoke weed after school.
Yeah.
The kid was, at the time, he told us that he was Russian,
Okay.
Jewish.
Okay.
And I drank for the first time a shot at his house.
See, there you
at
go.
like 13 years old.
Yeah.
At his house. That was his parents' vodka.
Yeah.
Right? So clearly he's Russian. Right? So then years later, we both get card licenses.
Okay.
And this is about like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And October 7th, remember? Or was that? Yeah, that was like 2 years ago, right?
When you got it, yeah.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, he's Israeli.
What?
And I'm like, yo, bro, like, I went to your house. Like, we're about to be 34, whatever now.
Yeah. You didn't tell us?
13 years old. I clearly remember you're Russian and Jewish. Like, why are you now Israeli? What's up with you?
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, yo, you're propaganda, you're this,
What?
This was the whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we end up, like, not speaking.
Whoa.
See?
Yeah. We went from being boys to like, dang, just separated all of a sudden.
Like that. And I showed this kid how to scale weed, all that shit.
Yeah, he should have remembered where he came from, bro.
He gives credit where credit is due. He went around saying and all that. But like, look how the divide is. Years later, when we was in school, there was no racism. This is right after 9/11 and all that. There was no racism. We're drinking together.
Yeah.
How does it go from that to this?
Exactly, especially because he knows you. Like you've always been solid with him. You taught him the ropes. Like
I'm the same person. I'm
exactly.
the same person.